Rays' ninth inning rally last night against their former closer Alex Colomé came up 1 run short as Seattle grabbed game 1 of this series. Tonight, right-hander Wilmer Font will get his first career start as the opening act for the Rays. Tonight, the Rays move into game 2 of this homestand and the second game of a 4-game series as the Rays play host to the Seattle Mariners. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll hear from Rich Hollenberg throughout the evening as well. Well, the Rays trying to figure out a way to beat this Seattle ball club. A late rally last night, but they came up on the short end of a 5-4 score. And what we will see featured in the second game of this series, 2 of the top 10 hitters in the American League.
I mean, these guys are swinging the bat as well as anybody in the game. And I'm going to tell you something. When you look, it's not a small sample size. Matt Duffy, go back to the last week of April the 28th. 30 games since then. Look what he's done. The average of .339, 9 extra base hits. Of course, the on-base percentage is always going to be good. He just does not deviate from his plan when he goes up to the plate. One of the best fastball hitters in the game, but if you try to get him with the wrinkle down and away, he'll shoot you into right field. And Gene Segura, what can you say about this guy? Early May, he was hitting .280, and since then, he's brought that average up to .341 on the back of this right here. 25 games, a .425 average, 11 extra base hits. Does a great job of staying inside the baseball and going up through the middle of the field. These two guys, you cannot get caught into patterns with them right now. You've got to mix and match all night long.
And he has led the Mariners into first place in the American League West. For the Rays last night, first base prospect Jake Bauers made his major league debut. Rich will have more on Jake in a moment.
saves in his major league career. He's back in the lineup tonight and back at first base. And as you would imagine, it was a whirlwind of a night last night for the young 22-year-old. A lot of friends, a lot of family in tow to watch his first major league game. No hits for him last night, but he made a nifty catch at foul territory coming over from his first base position. His parents, Stu and Misty, in the crowd, they certainly approved of that. And even though he didn't get a hit, he barreled up the ball in 2 of his 3 at-bats, an exit velocity over 107 miles per hour. All in all, a night to remember for Jake and a night to build on.
You know, I don't really know. I'm not even sure if it really has still. I was just trying to approach it like any other game, even though obviously it's not. But I think maybe when I hit that first ball to left and you know, hit it pretty well, kind of was just like, dang, all right, you know, you're here. So, I mean, it's just great feeling all around, obviously. Wish we could have got the win, kind of tried to battle back at the end, but, you know, I would say it was a good day for me.
Bauer's back at it again tonight, hitting 6th, hoping tonight he'll add a baseballs to his collection, his first major league hit. We're counting down 4.5 minutes to go before the Rays and the Mariners renew acquaintances. Dwayne and B.A. with the call on the other side. You're watching Rays Baseball on Fox Sports Sun.
We welcome you back to Tropicana Field. The opener tonight for the Rays, the big right-hander Wilmer Font in a pre-leaf appearance here for the Rays in the second game of this 3-game series. Here's the lineup put together by the Seattle Mariners and presented by your local Ford dealers. D. Gordon again at the top, leading off, playing second, hitting in front of Gene Segura, and then Mitch Haniger, the DH, the cleanup man, is Nelson Cruz, followed by Kyle Seager, and Mike Zunino will do the catching. Then Gamble gets a start in left, hitting in front of Guillermo Heredia, and Daniel Vogelbach is the first baseman, and he'll hit ninth.
Well, and Wilmer Font will be making his 15th appearance, first major league start. Did have 105 starts in the minor leagues. In fact, he had 25 starts in Oklahoma City just a season ago. First time, though, in the show.
And the first pitch of this game is a strike call. Pitch on the inner part of the plate. Gordon at 292 on the year. Had a base hit in the game last night. Fouls this one back, and it's 0-2.
I'll tell you what, now Matt Duffy starts to move back. First two pitches of this AB, and Matt Duffy was in here. I mean, you talk about taking away the bunt.
And a wave and a miss. Gordon reaching for that one. That takes care of the leadoff man for Seattle.
But Wilmer Font, you know, we saw his fastball, his last outing at 92 to 96. He will feature that split too. Not exactly where you want that pitch, you know, and going for a strikeout, but effective nonetheless. Keep speed off the base paths.
Here's Gene Segura hitting .341, second in the league. And there's a fastball at 98. Well, Font has come out throwing strikes.
You get fired up, you know, to start off a game. Rays have not had a lot of success the last couple of times they've gone with the opener.
It's foul the other way. Well, Font has been with the Dodgers in Oakland and now with the Rays. And a big arm. That's the first thing you notice about Font.
Well, he creates leverage. He's a big guy. Long limbs. Comes almost right over the top there, driving that ball down towards home plate. Another strong arm in the back. Well, in tonight's case, the front of the Rays pitching staff. When you think about some of the guys down in that bullpen with the velocities approaching triple digits.
And a foul ball at 99. So Font has come out here throwing strikes and hitting 99 on that last one. He is 7 of 7 in the strike department so far.
And you know, when you see the stuff that he features, it's a wonder why he's gone through so many organizations here in the last just little bit of time.
Another foul ball. Well, you mentioned he was the Pacific Coast Pitcher of the Year, and that's not something to dismiss. You pitch in the Pacific Coast League and have success, you're doing something there.
A lot of light air. The ball carries really well in that league. He had 178 strikeouts in just over 134 innings. I mean, that is dominant miss bat stuff.
And tries to throw a breaking ball there that stays up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 8 consecutive strikes to start this outing. And now 1-2 on Segura. It's 2-2. Now, the long ball has been an issue for him, particularly this year in his major league stops. He was in 6 games with the Dodgers, gave up 5 home runs. 4 games with Oakland, gave up 5. And this will be his 5th appearance with the Rays, giving up 1 home run so far. And a high popper foul ball for Duffy. The Rays third baseman puts that one away.
Well, let's take a look here at Mitch Haniger as he comes to the plate. A little scouting report. He appeared 96 games a season ago for the Seattle Mariners, hit 16 home runs and drove in 47 runs. He's already at 13 and 46 this season. So it's a nice follow-up here in 2018 and making them count. We talked about it in the pregame show. He's tied for the major league lead with 9 game-winning runs batted in. And those can come early, but I'll tell you what, they're holding up.
And the pitch is upstairs to Haniger. Well, the Rays felt one of those in that 13-inning game when he hit the walk-off home run out in Seattle. And there's a strike. Here's a guy in Haniger just 2 or 3 years ago went to the minor leagues and reworked his whole approach to hitting. And here he is, the number 3 hitter in this Seattle lineup and having a very productive year.
Well, he's showing more power now than he ever has. You know, and that started back in 2016 when he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks before the trade that sent him to Seattle. He had 20 home runs in Reno. Now that's going to be helped out a lot about the Pacific Coast League, but he's been able to translate that. Like I said, 16 a season ago in 96 games, already 13 here this year, and that's in just over 60 games, 61.
And a cut and a miss on the high fastball at 98. Haniger out on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Font. 1, 2, 3. Go the Mariners. Daniel Robertson will be the leadoff man when we come back. Strikes. Rays come into bat in the bottom of the inning. Lineup presented by your local Ford dealers. Daniel Robertson to lead off, followed by the DH C.J. Cron, and then Matt Duffy. Wilson Ramos, the catcher, the cleanup hitter, batting in front of Carlos Gomez in the 5th spot tonight. Jake Bowers hit 6th, followed by Johnny Field, Christian Arroyo, and Malik Smith.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Seattle Mariners going to be left-hander Marco Gonzalez, making his 13th start of the season, and in his last 4, he is 3-0, a .35 earned run average. Just 1 earned run his last 26 innings.
And the first pitch is a strike into Daniel Robertson. Gonzalez was impressive against the Rays in that Saturday game out in Seattle. The Mariners won that game 3-1, and he pitched 2 outs into the 7th. It's 1-1. 26-year-old lefty. Robertson collecting a home run last night in the 3rd inning, his 7th of the year. 1-2.
Well, another one of those starting pitchers working exclusively out of the stretch to try to just minimize adjustments, simplify things. Got a 4-pitch mix, and boy, does he mix them very well.
Foul back. Yeah, he does. He spreads out his pitches almost evenly up and down a lineup.
Well, you know, a left-hander, he's not a big guy, doesn't have power stuff, so you've got to use all of the strike zone and mix them up.
Runs that one in on Robertson, who fouls it.
You can see already that was a cutter up and in on Daniel Robertson. You'll see the sinker away, the changeup that will fade and move down and away, and that's the mix that you're talking about, Dwayne. That is, you're not able to sit on any one pitch.
A little bit of that one foul to stay alive on a 1-2 count.
Well, the good thing is here in this at-bat by Daniel Robertson, he's allowed the dugout. And they've already seen him, saw him in his last start, but he's already gone to all 4 of his pitches here in the first at-bat of the game.
And a base hit taken the other way. Nice job by Robertson. And the Rays put the leadoff man aboard. Robertson was 2 for 3 off Gonzalez in Seattle.
Look how he let that ball. That ball's off the plate away, but he just lets it travel into the zone and then just shoot it into right field. Had some room to work with. Stayed back on the changeup.
So the Rays with a man aboard for C.J. Cron. Crowds him inside. Off the plate. 1-0. That 90 reading is about as good as he gets. Down to third. Backhanded pickup by Seager. Nice job, and they turn the double play. Boy, Seager to start that double play, something else.
You know, you think about the play that he made last night to end the ball game. And then this one right here, the short hop backhand, and look how quickly he got rid of it to D. Gordon. That's a beautiful turn here by the Mariner infield.
Well, with that kind of defense behind him, that goes hand in hand with Gonzalez. His ground ball rate's pushing 48%. Taking advantage of some great D by Seager at third. Now Matt Duffy. The pitch is a strike.
Well, you think about Gonzalez, and then think about Leake last night. You know, with that defense behind him, how many ground ball double plays that he got. I think he leads Major League Baseball. Gonzalez is in the top 10.
Ground ball to third. That's fair. Deep back of the bag, and Seager does it again, throwing out Duffy. Flashing some leather here in the bottom of the first. No score as we move into the second. Another look at the Seattle third baseman. Seattle this year as we go inside the Toyota inside look, and you can see over the last 3 years that has been a difficult trend for the Rays.
Well, you look at the runs per game and the starter ERA. That's what's happening, is this Seattle Mariner team has been able to jump on the Rays starters and then just play it out from there. That's not an easy thing to do. Rays have traditionally had a good starting rotation, but they have been able to get them.
Want to know the count to Cruz leading it off. There's a strike. Nelson Cruz, the DH. Well, the Rays 1-10 in their last 11 games against Seattle, and just 3-10 in the last 13 games played here at the Trop. Fastball foul right back into the screen. It's 1-2. A very clean first inning for Font. Out to start the second. 2-2.
Well, he looked extremely comfortable. We mentioned that he had 105 starts in the minor leagues, including 25 a season ago, but settled right in. Big fastball.
And now he's 3-2 to Cruz.
I don't recall his velocity getting up into that 98, 99 mile per hour range yet here with the Rays.
Ground ball sharply hit third. And Duffy with a little glove work there down to his left. Cruz is out number one.
Let's go ahead and set the Ray defense for you. Brought to you by our good friends at Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we've got Johnny Field, Malik Smith, and Carlos Gomez across that infield third to first. Matt Duffy, Daniel Robertson, Christian Arroyo, and Jake Bowers with Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
Kyle Seager will be the hitter, coming off an 0-for-4 night last night. But with 11 home runs on the year and 37 runs batted in, 220 overall average. It's inside off the plate at 97.
Traditional shift here by the Rays.
Arroyo out there in shallow right. It's fouled the other way, 1-1. Font worked 2 innings Tuesday in Washington, D.C. against the Nationals. 2 scoreless innings, picked up a strikeout. And that is a strike call to run the count to 1-2. He's had good command of the fastball, and 96, 98 in that neighborhood, coming right out of the chute. And the breaking pitch is up.
I've been sharp with the fastball. The secondary pitches, you know, he's still trying to get a feel for those, whether it's the breaking ball or even that split. But the fastball certainly has bought him some time, and he's had great success with it so far.
Now he goes 3-2. Strikeouts in the first, ground ball out to begin the second, and the second consecutive full count. 3-2 to Seager, and he got him reaching. He went up and away with a fastball, and Seager chased it.
Boy, it looked like an emergency swing almost there by Seager. Stay behind that fastball. It's running up and away, and he just takes a little stab at it out there. That ball up above the zone and off the plate. Not a lot of conviction in that swing.
Now the catcher, Mike Zunino. There's a first pitch strike at the top of the zone. Quickly, it's an 0-2 count. And he overpowered him at 97. Strikes out Zunino. 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Jake Bowers will hit third when we go to the home half of the second. Ball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Tampa Bay Rays. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Rays home tonight. Second game of 4 against the Seattle Mariner ball club. Then Wilson Ramos will open the home half of the inning, followed by Carlos Gomez, and then Jake Bauers against the left-hander Marco Gonzalez. It's fouled up the right side, well beyond the bullpen. Heads up down there in a souvenir. 289 on the year for Ramos. With 7 home runs, he had a double to open the 9th inning last night when the Rays put their rally together, only to fall 1 run short. Now it's 0-2. Seattle winning that game 5-4.
Well, it's indicative of this Rays team. They do not stop coming after you. And last night they almost pulled it off. Did not feel like it was going to be much of a game for most of it, but they closed strong.
Inside 1-2. Kevin Cash. There's the Rays at 28-33. They'd gone 2 over 500 before hitting this 7-game streak. And offense has been an issue during this streak. And at times some uneven play overall.
Yeah, and that's the part that really gets under the skin of Kevin Cash. He wants to be as fundamentally sound as any team out there, and they have not been over the last week or so.
Pop up on a pitch in, and Gordon angling out from second handles that. Yeah, the Rays have made mistakes in the field and on the bases. Things like that just drive Kevin Cash and really any manager up a wall.
The on the base paths has been an issue all season long. Now, some of those are aggressive mistakes, and the Rays are going to be aggressive on the base paths, so you're going to run into some outs. But some of the other ones, the ones that really have, gotten the ire of the manager, and they just boneheaded.
It's Carlos Gomez, and that's fouled right off his foot.
This is a team really that needs to manufacture runs. Not going to be able to do it right off the instep right there. But so they have to create some things on the base paths from time to time. They've not had the same kind of home run numbers they had a season ago, and that's by design. You got to find other ways to score, but you got to be smart about it.
1 strike on Gomez. He rolls it to the shortstop, Segura. His throw is right there. 2 up and 2 down. So the bases are empty, and Jake Bauers will come up to hit against the left-hander Gonzalez. Well, Bauers figures to be in there against righties and lefties, and the reports on him were in the minor leagues he hangs in there against lefties and gives himself a better than even chance up there, even against lefties. Facing Gonzalez here with the bases empty. And a liner into center field. Heredia coming on and makes the catch to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 3rd. No score.
Major League Baseball draft just ended last week, and I'm joined by scouting director Rob Metzler. You're much like a CPA. When April 15th comes for the tax time, they get to take a deep breath. You're almost ready to take your deep breath once all these players you drafted get signed. Let's talk first about number 1 pick, Matthew Liberatore. What did you like so much about him?
We felt strongly about Matthew's physical ability, his mental ability, his character. He's a large, physically large young man with a good, diverse repertoire: fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. Ability to use them all. So I think in terms of starting pitching prospect, he checked all the boxes that we were looking for.
And I know you said after you drafted him that you were surprised and excited. Why were you both of those adjectives?
We thought Matthew was the top high school starting pitching prospect in the draft. The way you never know how a draft's going to unfold, the kind of sliding doors aspect and cascading effect that one team passes for whatever reason, and I don't know why he was available, but we're pretty excited that he was.
We all know about Brendan McKay last year, a big-time two-way player out of Louisville, already having success in the minor leagues. This year with the 71st pick, you took another two-way player in Tanner Dotson. Why'd you make that choice?
He's a talented young man. He has a really fast arm, a live fastball, sinking action, good slider. He pitched in a relief role for Cal. We plan to explore different roles for him on the mound. Along with that, he's a switch-hitting center fielder with good foot speed and good contact skills, and we think he could progress in that way. So, we're open-minded to seeing how this unfolds in the future.
Now it's all about signing these kids. We appreciate some time, Rob Metzler.
Happy to be here. Happy to get through it, and we're really excited about how our staff put this together and the result we came out with Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Excellent. And guys, as I send it back to you, just for note, the number 840th pick in the Major League Draft was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays. His name is Tanner Brubaker. My guess, his dad was a big-time Bad News Bears fan.
Of course.
Got them both.
3-2, the count on Gamble. I like the throwback. That's good.
Yeah, you have to know those movies. If you're going to be employed in the game of baseball.
Absolutely.
You got to know who Tanner is. You got to know Kelly Leak.
Kelly Leak for sure.
And if you don't know who Kelly Leak is,
it's worth the viewing pleasure.
Get on the search engine, figure it out.
Gamble has drawn a walk here from Wilmer Font. And now Guillermo Heredia is the hitter. I'll tell you, that Rob Metzler interview, there's so much work that goes into that, and to have what appears to be such a successful draft, and he was acknowledging that, but in a low-key way. If it turns out to be what not one but a handful of amateur evaluating experts think, the Rays just had a great draft.
Yep.
And it'll be fun to watch them develop through the system and see how quickly some come and who would be the surprises out of that draft. Breaking ball is a strike, and that's a fun part of this game that doesn't get a lot of focus because you don't see the rewards right away. But if they've had the draft that these people think they've had, that is a great step forward for this organization. So that'd be fun.
Well, and it's necessary. The Rays are not going to be an organization that's going to go out and throw tons of money, at free agents. They've got to be able to draft and develop their own homegrown kids. And so, with the ones that we've seen so far this year, and we're going to continue to see this summer.
Check swing, a little roller to third, fair ball, and no place to go. Well, that's a tough break for the Rays on that little check swing dribbler up the third base side that would not go foul.
And there was just no play for Matt Duffy to make, and you could see this breaking ball right here is topped right off the end of the bat. Little check swing by Heredia. Staying fair, staying fair. Here comes Matt Duffy, and then finally he's got to field it. Can't make a play, but you got to field it. Can't let that ball roll any further.
So a walk and a base hit, infield hit. Now the first baseman, Daniel Vogelback. And he shoots this one into right toward the corner. Gomez keeps it out of the corner. Gamble's going to score. Heredia will stop at third base, and a base hit for Vogelback to drive in the run to make it 1-0. And a nice job by Gomez to keep it out of the corner.
Well, how about this? Vogelback just going to go up there and ambush. This ball is letter high, good velocity. He is a big boy, and he gets on top of it. Boy, hammers that ball into the corner. And you're right, Carlos Gomez always playing full tilt, cuts it off. Saves the Rays 90 feet.
They say 106.5 off the bat. Ball sharply hit. Kyle Snyder heads to the mound. Font has gone through the lineup once. Matt Andriese was up and throwing in the bullpen in the bottom of the second inning. It turned out to be an 8-pitch inning. So Font goes out here to start the third, walks the first man, and then gives up that scratch hit, the little roller up the third baseline, and the RBI single to put men at first and third with nobody out and a run already home. But it seems with that leadoff walk, you walk the leadoff man, and boy, it burns you.
So many times, a free base runner that, you know, you could say that they earned it in the fact that they worked a good at bat, but you allowed it. It's a self-inflicted wound for the pitcher. And so often that bites you. And here it's already come around to score and still nobody out.
D. Gordon, the top of the order. It's a strike on the inside part of the plate. Well, the Mariners strike first. It's been a familiar refrain in this little stretch the Rays have struggled through. 1-1. Rays have dropped 7 in a row. And a strike. Rays have been without the lead in 6 of those 7 games they've dropped in a row. And trail 1-0 in the third inning of this one. Gordon shoots it foul the other way.
D. Gordon just trying to put the ball in play here. You know, he's got speed to burn, so he's going to be a tough guy to double up. Going to have to hit something sharply right at somebody. He's looking to get that runner home from third. Did strike him out his first time up.
And he goes after the pitch way up there on that 1-2, a fastball up, and a little bit of that one to stay alive.
Well, you wonder now if he has the feel to go back to that split. That would be the pitch to go to in this situation, but he's been a little bit inconsistent with it here in the early going.
And he got him. He came back with a fastball. Strikes him out for the second time.
And D. Gordon can't believe it. I mean, there was nothing special about this. No, velocity was pretty good, but right down the heart of the plate, he just laid it in there, and D. Gordon comes up empty.
And the Rays are going to make a pitching change. Kevin Cash out of the dugout. 2 1/3 in this opening performance for Font. Back in a moment. Florida Lottery has over 70 unique scratch-off games, so add a little play to your day with these new games. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket, claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Matt Andrees takes over after 2 1/3 from Font, and he'll be facing Gene Segura. One and 3 on the year for Andrees.
Facing one of the top hitters in Major League Baseball. You see a .340 average. Does a great job of using the middle of the field.
This pitch is a strike. And for Segura, it doesn't make a lot of difference whether he's facing a righty or a lefty. He came in hitting .341 overall, second in the league. .333 against right-handers and .360 against lefties. Second base, in and out of the glove of Arroyo. They're going to get the out at second. And that's going to be it. Well, for a moment you thought it might be a quick double play, but the run scores. Heredia crosses the plate to make it 2-0.
Going to have to be a perfect scoop here by Arroyo. And there's Segura again using the middle of the field and a little sliding backhand. But all he was able to do is knock it down. A tough hop, a tough play in and out of that glove. And then recovers to get the lead man, but the run does score.
Segura picks up a run batted in, his 40th. So Gamble and Heredia, who opened reaching on a walk and an infield hit, have scored the runs. Over to first, Segura is back in.
Well, one of the 2 big runners on this team, Segura and D. Gordon, so you got to keep your eyes on him. You see he's 13 out of 16.
And the last time Andrees faced Haniger, Haniger hit the walk-off home run in Seattle in the 13th inning game. Pitch is wide, 1-0. Back in Seattle, and that one out to right center field. It ended that 4-hour and 17-minute 13-inning contest. One and 0 the count. Tapper foul. So 2 runs on 2 hits. The walk contributed. Fielder's choice ground ball got a run home. Haniger at the plate, Segura aboard. Runner goes, good jump. Pitch is a strike, and the throw into the runner, and a stolen base for Segura. Gives him 14 out of 17 running for Segura.
Boy, a good jump on a high leg kick, and you knew it was a matter of time before he was going to try and go. That throw getting him right on the side.
Segura steals his way into scoring position. And Reese ahead in the count. Both these runs charged to Font. And a cut and a miss. Andrees strikes out Haniger to end the inning. 2-run score, bottom of the third coming up, 2-0. brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Marco Gonzalez has turned things around here for his season. Almost untouchable in his last 4 starts.
It's scary. I mean, 1 earned run in 26 innings at opponent's average. He's kept the ball in the yard, limited his walks, and worked the fringes of the strike zone. And we talked about his mix. You know, the fastball, curveball, he's got a cutter and a changeup, and he does a really nice job of not allowing you to zone in on any one of those pitches. I guess that's the one plus side of the 1 earned run scored against him in the last 4 starts. The Rays are the team that got it. See if they can build off of that here tonight, because they're going to need more than 1.
There's a strike to field. It's 2-1. Christian Arroyo on deck. Fastball foul back there. That was in on the plate, and a pretty good rip by Field, but tied up just a little bit, and he fouled it back.
Well, and you know what? That's the byproduct of finally getting a fastball to hit, but it comes on the heels of 3 straight changeups. So you're slow, slow, slow. Then you get that 1 fastball, and it jumps up on you.
He takes this one into right. Haniger will go back, and in front of the track makes the catch.
Well, maybe that had a chance to get over his head.
That's the first out. Field taking that one the other way. You know, Field's been an interesting addition to the club. You know, he's not a flashy guy, but he does a lot of things right, and he's shown some strength and hit that ball well the other way.
There are a number of guys cut out of the same type of mold on this team. And you're right. You know, he came up. Remember, he got his first home run in the big leagues with Fenway Park, and then has added some since then. Ball can jump off his bat, and he stays balanced and on time.
Ground ball left side. That's Seager cutting to his left to make the play, and Arroyo is the second out. Well, Robertson opened with a base hit, was erased on the 5-4-3 double play, and nothing against Gonzalez since then. There's Malik Smith. Is a strike. Gonzalez originally drafted by the Cardinals. Gonzalez spent 3 years at Gonzaga. 0-2. Nothing doing here so far in the bottom of the 3rd. To take down and away.
Well, you can see Malik Smith starting to inch and lean out over the plate, looking for that pitch. Got beat on the one previously. That's you know what, and that's exactly why they went in there, because they recognized it. You could see Malik's inching and getting ready to lean out over for that cutter. Cutter was off the plate, so you get a guy leaning like that, then go that fastball in.
Just keep him honest.
That's it. I mean, that's reading the hitter.
Base hit right back through the middle, and the Rays got a 2-out single from Malik Smith.
What you can't do after that is hang a breaking ball right in the middle of the plate. This is exactly what he does. Curveball, no bite to it. Nice job by Malik staying right through it. 2-out hit, speed aboard.
Yeah, that breaking ball down and away. probably going into the fourth right now.
And that's why you can have the pitch right. It's all about the execution.
Yep.
I've got the right pitch, but I've got to get it to the right spot.
Daniel Robertson fouling the fastball away. Strike one. Robertson fell behind in the count and then took the ball into right for the base hit. Homered last night in his second at bat. His 7th home run of the year. Time granted. Robertson stepping out. Crowds him in there, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's got a nice cutter. You know, it stays on the same plane, and it's got some late action to it. You can see how that kind of tied up Daniel Robertson's swing, and it can be effective against both righties and lefties.
Comes back in there, a little bouncer foul.
We've seen him use the four-seamer in there. We've seen him cut it in there. All of a sudden you get a hitter thinking about that pitch middle in, and it opens up the outer half with something that's going to be moving away from him, whether it be the fastball or the changeup.
Well, he's ahead of him now. First time up, he got ahead 1-2 and went with a change, and Robertson hit it the other way.
Sometimes it's just how you get there. You know, you start making a guy aware of a pitch in. He's going to start to maybe be a little bit too quick trying to get to that pitch, and that opens up a way. It's all about the sequencing and trying to read these hitters.
And he misses down and away. Fastball that time. 1-2.
That was close.
It was close.
Very
wasn't it?
close.
David Rackley calls the balls and strikes, and he has a reputation for making these pitchers hit the zone. Ground ball back at third, and this one gets away from Seager. Malik Smith heads for third. Let's see if he's going to be waved in now, or they're going to stop him. Throw back to second, and back in there. The ball pops away. Everybody's safe. Boy, for a moment, there was just one moment there where the Rays thought about sending Malik Smith.
You know, it was last night that Malik ran through the stop sign. This ball just gets underneath the glove of Kyle Seager. You know, one of the better third basemen right here. Matt's going to send him.
And Malik was looking at the play.
Well, so Malik hasn't listened 2 nights in a row, and it's worked out well both times for the Rays. Went through the stop sign last night and scored. Tonight he ignores the stop sign.
Yeah, the windmill going for him. Didn't see it.
He did, and it's a good thing he didn't see it.
Yeah.
He probably would have been gone.
Second and third, and the pitch is fouled by Crone. You know, there was just that little hesitation by Gamble when he got to the ball, and Quatraro thought, let's give it a go here.
Yep.
And Malik didn't see him. So now let's see what C.J. Crone can do against this lefty. Ball hit by Robertson, an error charge to Seager, his 5th. Inside, 1-1.
Sometimes you need a break. And they got one there. Let's see if they can cash in.
And a cut to miss on a pitch away.
Boy, everything to the extremes. The fastball in off, the changeup down and away off. Really good arm speed on this. It's traditional circle change. Throw just like a fastball.
And that pitch just breezed him a little bit, just barely touched him.
Nice cell job there by C.J. Crone. I certainly did not think that ball was going to hit him, but was a cutter down and in.
He's got him on that back leg.
Okay. Not going to argue with you.
Yeah, nobody put up an argument over that. Crone was pretty convincing.
Well, here you go, bases loaded. One of the hottest hitters in baseball right now at the plate.
Now Matt Duffy out on a very good play by Seager at third in the first inning. So with 2 gone, Rays have loaded him. And a good takeaway.
Well, and with the lack of power, the way that the Rays offense is built for moments like this, and this is where you need the big hit.
Duffy fouls it the other way, out of play. 1-1.
The Rays are going to be able to create opportunities. They're going to get guys on. They're going to take some walks. They're going to steal some bases, get into scoring position. But then it comes down to being able to cash in. And so these are the situations where they need to start doing that.
Now the 1-1. And it's fouled. Breaking ball. 1-2. Well, Crone hit by a pitch at first. He's been hit 10 times now. That's tops in the majors. Robertson second, Smith over at third. There's Crone at first. Duffy behind in the count. And he takes it down and in. 2-2. Pushed him to 25 pitches in this inning. I'd love to see him cash in. And it's ball 3. The count full on Duffy.
Well, now in theory, you're going to force Gonzalez out over the plate. He's got to throw a strike here, and Matt Duffy should get something to hit. Key is don't try to do too much with it.
Duffy has never hit a grand slam. 10 of 30 though with men in scoring position, and a 3-2 count right here. And a cut to miss. He's out on strikes. And the Rays will leave him loaded.
First time we've seen this pitch all night. Backdoor cutter. Saved it.
2-0 Mariners.
all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Well, the Rays put up a big threat there in the third, but come away with a 0. And we head to the fourth, trailing Seattle. The Rays down 2-0. Here's Nelson Cruz to lead off. Pitch is down. Cruz, then Seager, and Zunino up against Andriese in the fourth. One and one. Well, where Font worked 2 1/3, was charged with both Seattle runs. Foul toward the bullpen. The Mariners have been on a roll, coming in 39-23, third best start in club history. It's upstairs, 2-2. Won 6 of their last 7. Now 2-2. The count's going to go full. Cruz had a full count in the second inning, leading off, and grounded out to Duffy. Kyle Seager's on deck. Oh, and this one hits him. So Cruz hit by a pitch to open the inning.
Changeup. You see a lot of times that pitch, it looks more like a slider, but this one just gets away from Matt Andriese, stays up and in, and gets him right in the back of the arm.
So now the Seattle slugger takes a stroll to first. The hitter is Kyle Seager. Seager struck out against Font, facing Andriese for the first time. Strike one there. It's the 10th time Cruz has been hit. So Crone, who was hit by a pitch, took over the league lead in being hit by a pitch, now joined by Cruz. Carlos Gomez in the running, just 2 back.
Got a couple games left in this series too, so
Yeah.
this will be something to bears watching.
That's a base hit into right. Hit it through the shift. Cruz advances to second. First 2 men on for Seattle.
Yeah, to be able to do that, you know, you got to hit the ball hard. You've got fielders, you know, bunched up over there to try to keep you from doing what he just did, and that is to pull the ball and get it through. But that ball was hammered, pitch left up and out over the plate.
And the hitter becomes the catcher, Mike Zunino, out of the University of Florida. He takes a strike. Nine home runs for Zunino. He came into the game hitting .204. It's foul the other way. Zunino hit 25 home runs a year ago. He really struggled early, Zunino, last year. And in early May wound up going back to Tacoma in the minor leagues. He was averaging striking out more than once a game. There's a cut and miss, and he's out on strikes here. He was hitting 167 through their first 24 games with no home runs. Went to Tacoma, came back and finished the year with 25 home runs.
Well, he made a nice adjustment after going down to Tacoma, but this is a big reason why he went there in the first place. You start to expand your zone like that. Doesn't take these big league pitchers long to figure that out, and all of a sudden you don't see too many quality strikes that you can drive. Now get ahead of you and expand from there.
That's exactly what Andres needed here in this situation. Was the strikeout with men at first and second, nobody out, now one out.
Now give me something on the ground. Get out of this mess.
Gamble walked his first time. One and one. Gamble up to 275 right now on a run of 392 in his last 16 games. And he takes a pitch just a little bit wide. 2-1. You know, old habits die hard. You're thinking about Zunino before in that strikeout he chased. One of the things he was very good at when he came back, he became a very patient hitter. But old habits die hard.
Yeah, well, that is so true. You got to keep up on that stuff.
Ground ball, but it's up the middle into center. Charged by Smith, and Cruz will stop at third. The bases are loaded. And Reese got the ground ball, but it was through into center.
Boy, using the middle of the field. You know, look at all of the guys that we've highlighted in this series that are swinging the bat well. Matt Duffy, middle of the field the other way. Gene Segura uses the middle of the field as well as anybody. Gamble, right there, right back up the middle. Stay inside that baseball. That gives you a chance to do that. Use the middle of the field, cover the ball away, and react to the pitch that's in. A lot easier said than done, though.
Bases loaded, one out. Here's Heredia. He reached on the infield hit his first time that led to a couple runs for Seattle. That's a strike. Came in hitting .254, Heredia. Cruz third, Seager second, Gamble a runner at first. Tapper foul. That base hit for Heredia in the third. It was that ball that was just fair in front of the bag at third. It snapped an 0 for 10 on the Seattle road trip for Heredia. And now Andres ahead of him, 2 strikes. Offer at that one. 1-2. It's a changeup that went down and away. We saw the changeup fade into and hit Cruz.
Yeah, that was just a mistake changeup because Matt Andres' changeup doesn't fade. I've never seen one like that with his grip and the way that he has his wrist cocked. In real time from this angle right here, looks like a slider.
The right side foul. So it's still a ball, 2 strikes on the Seattle center fielder. Heredia tends to be an aggressive hitter up there. And down 1-2 with the bases loaded, you would think this might be one of those situations.
Expand. Try to get him to expand that zone.
Lifts it foul. Out of play.
Well, now you think about that changeup. Another, fastball at the top of the strike zone. Speed a guy up. Now bring it down a little bit and slow him down.
One, two. And he lays off the pitch down.
Yeah, you give credit right there to Heredia because they did try to, after that elevated fastball, we've seen that an awful lot this series. Fastballs up with 2 strikes and then come with the off speed down below the zone and get guys to chase, and Heredia does a nice job of laying off that pitch.
Two, and that just missed. So the count is full.
Boy, had him completely fooled there. I think that Heredia was looking for anything but the curveball. It just stayed up above the zone. You see how he kind of locked up there a little bit.
Three-two. Ground ball, shortstop. Robertson, one at second, safe at first. The run's going to score. The Rays' inability to smoothly turn the double play will cost them a run. Cruz, who was hit by a pitch to open the inning, scores the run. Seager into third.
I think it was trouble here, Dwayne, getting it out of his glove. Looked like he fielded it just fine, and then in trying to make that little flip over there to Arroyo, just had trouble. And see that ball bouncing around. Whole timing of the play thrown off.
So Heredia reaches on a fielder's choice. Gets credit for a run batted in. Well, 2 of these 3 Seattle runs have scored on a similar situation. Vogelback, the first baseman.
You're a little bit more forgiving of the first one. That was a tough angled hop, and a sliding backhand attempt by Arroyo. That would have been a heck of a turn.
Yep.
That one right there was a little bit more traditional. Ground ball, you're going to shovel it right to Arroyo and get out of that thing, and just had some trouble getting a hold of that baseball.
It's 2-0. Vogelback's been up and down a couple times with this Seattle ball club. Originally with the Cubs, up to the big leagues with the Mariners in 2016 for 8 games, 16 games last year with Seattle. He's ahead in the count, 3-0. Top of the order, Gordon on deck. And that's a strike on the inside edge. 3-1. 2 runs home for Seattle in the 3rd inning, and additional run in the 4th. And a near miss down and away. That walks the Seattle first baseman. Reloads the bases, sending Heredia up to second base. Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and a lot more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Kyle Snyder, another trip to the mound. First one here in the fourth inning before Andriese faces the top of the order. Font worked 2 1/3, gave up 2 runs. Andriese touched for a run here in this frame. And Gordon, who has struck out twice, will be the hitter. Gordon signed to play center field. 29 years old, finds himself back in the infield in the absence of Robinson Cano. Takes ball 1 off the plate.
Boy, when you know the suspension was handed down to Robinson Cano, I think the knee-jerk reaction was, well, Seattle's going to fold up.
Yep.
At that point, but they have done just the opposite. They have gone off.
Ground ball first base. Bowers is there to make the play unassisted. 1 run scores. They leave him loaded. 3-0 Seattle.
With Feeding Tampa Bay, the Raves' wives lent a hand, putting together about 700+ bags of child-friendly food for the Children's Hunger Backpack Program. The program supplies thousands of local children with nutritious food to take home over the weekend and during the summer. It was a busy day before the game yesterday for about 10 of the Rays' wives and girlfriends, doing great work for the Tampa Bay community, guys.
Well, we got to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Rays trying to get something going against Marco Gonzalez and the Mariners, with Wilson Ramos leading off. Pitch is a strike. Ramos, Gomez, and Bowers due up. Tapper to third, foul. It's 0-2. Rays pushed Gonzalez a bit in the third inning when they loaded the bases on a hit, an error, and a hit batter. But they left him that way, and he made a heck of a pitch on Duffy to end that one.
Boy, he saved the backdoor cutter. That pitch that we have not seen here tonight, and he saves it for full count, bases loaded. That's a gutsy pitch.
Yes, it is. And a swing through that one by Ramos. Strikeout number 2 for Gonzalez.
another cutter, and he runs this one up and in and just ties up Wilson Ramos, gets it over the swing there. Boy, he's not only mixed his pitches well, he's mixed locations very well too. In and out, up and down.
The big cut and a miss by Gomez, and you're not afraid, or not surprised, I should say, not surprised to find out that Gonzalez's father was a left-handed pitcher who was taken in the 16th. Was a 16th pick by the Tigers back in 1989 out of Colorado State. So his dad was a lefty, and the son following suit.
Got an idea.
Yep.
Well, he's got some good bloodlines and a real good idea out there on the mound. Think about the two pitches here to Gomez. Change up away, and then a cutter up and in, right back away. When you get a guy soft away, and then a cutting fastball up and in that kind of jams him, and then back out away, just back and forth, get him leaning.
Foul ball, holds the count at 1-2. Jake Bauers on deck. Fly ball to right. Haniger is there. 2 up, 2 down on a strikeout on a fly ball. Jake Bauers on his way to the plate now. Bauers lined to center his first time. There's a strike. Jake coming up and playing last night. He went 0 for 4, but hit a couple line drives and a hot shot handled by the second baseman last night. Chops this one foul, and it's 0-2. And his folks staying in town, Stu and Misty, they hurriedly made the trip across the country from California to catch his major league debut last night.
We got to see it through. First base hit.
He takes a close pitch there down. 1-2. That's the other thing we hear about Bauers on a day in, day out basis. A good eye up there. Pretty selective as a hitter.
You can see that with the on base percentage.
Little tap right side. Gordon has it. Throw to first in time. And it's 3 up, 3 down. On to the 5th inning we go. 3-0 Seattle. The pregame show presented by your local Honda dealers. We'll hear from Blake Snell, and Doug will break down Mitch Haniger. Haniger did a hit second in this inning. It'll be Segura, Haniger, and Cruz. Segura takes the first pitch for a strike. His RBI came on a fielder's choice ground ball in the third. He has a stolen base tonight, his 14th of the year. And that's wide, 1-1. That's going to be a fair ball by the bag and up the left field line. Field will play the carom, and Segura has a leadoff double. Just like that, with the middle of the lineup coming, the Mariners have a man in scoring position to begin the fifth.
Boy, after 2 quiet innings to start this ball game, this Mariner lineup now applying pressure each and every time they come to the plate. Segura here able to keep that ball fair up the third base line. And back to work for Matt Andriese. Got to make some big pitches here.
Mitch Haniger twice has struck out. And now up with a man in scoring position. Haniger third in the league and runs batted in. Takes the ball down and away. Ground ball, that's going to go through the open right side. Here comes Segura in to score. Haniger drives in the run. It's 4-0.
Well, taking advantage of the shift there, and Mitch Haniger, you're going to see on his swing. Watch him stay down and through this breaking ball. Let it get into the zone and then just hit it hard up the middle the other way. Knew he had some room to play with.
8.9 off the bat for Haniger. And the run batted in. Now he's at first with nobody out. Nelson Cruz pitches wide, 1-0.
You know, that was a nice job by Mitch Haniger. We just documented that. But you're telling me that that ball off his bat was harder than both of the shots by Jake Bauers last night?
That's the reading. I know.
Well, I'm not sure that was 108.9.
You're applying the eye test? That's a strike, 1-1.
That's got to be the hardest ground ball of the year then, because that's what it was, the ground ball. I mean, not to say you can't hit a ground ball hard.
Yeah.
But I think about the 2 shots by Bauers last night. Sure seemed to be
harder.
A little bit.
Sounded harder. Shot up into short left center and reaching outfield, laying out to make that catch. Ball off the bat, kind of died out there a little bit.
It did. It almost looked like you know, like Johnny Field having trouble finding that ball. He does at the right time, but you could see him almost like, well, I don't know what he could have been seeing there. Was it in a bank of lights perhaps? Who knows? But makes the play, and that's all that matters.
It's the first out to get Cruz, a dangerous hitter. That's David Rackley.
It was just
confirming with the dugout there.
Confirming that that was 112.7 off the bat.
little softer when he caught it, though, but right off the bat.
Right off, just that small little reading.
So Haniger at first, one out. Here's Seager. Piece of that one foul, a strike. Rays have some action in their bullpen. Nuno, the lefty, is up. Got 4 or 5 pitches under his belt down there. Foul ball off the base of the stands. 0-2. 4 runs, 6 hits for Seattle. The Rays, no runs, 2 hits. 2 runs off Font and now 2 off Andriese. Mariners have put the leadoff man on base in each of the last 3 innings. Out at second, over to first, not going to be in time. Haniger forced. Arroyo to Robertson. So 2 gone, and Seager reaches on the fielder's choice. Mariners in the 3rd put the leadoff man on when Ben Gamble walked and later scored. Cruz hit by a pitch to open the 4th. He scored. Segura with a double in the 5th, and he has scored. Now Mike Zunino. Zunino 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts. Ground ball sharply hit. That one gets by Duffy down toward the bullpen. Seager's hitting 3rd. They're going to wave him around, and that ball stuck down beyond the bullpen. As Field tried to dig it out and had trouble doing that. So Seager came around to score, but that's going to be a double for Zunino, and Seager's headed back to 3rd.
Well, that pitch stays up, and Zunino gets out and around it right off the top of Matt Duffy's glove, and that kind of deadens it down into that bullpen. And the ball rolls right into a couple of gloves.
So it'll be 2nd and 3rd on Zunino's 5th double of the year. The Rays will make a pitching change while Rackley explains to Scott Service the situation down in the bullpen. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Pitcher number 3, Font 2 1/3, Andriese 2 1/3. Nuno to match up against the left-handed bat of Ben Gamel with minutes 2nd and 3rd. Pitch is looped foul down the left side, short of the bullpen this time. That ball that Zunino hit down there actually wound up under a couple of gloves, and for all practical purposes, it cost Seattle a run.
It did. That ball does not roll into those gloves, and you think they'd be moved by now. But that doesn't roll into those gloves. I don't think Johnny Field's going to have a play to make there. Just wasn't going to get down there hard enough. Kyle Seager was well on his way to scoring. Let the Rays benefit by that ball going into one of the gloves, and now one more big pitch by Nuno to get out of this inning, down just 4.
Into the dirt, and a block there by Ramos. That again keeps Seager from scoring.
Boy, this ball yanked right down into the dirt, well out in front of the plate, and a really nice job by Ramos using your body.
Foul ball, just a little bit of that one. Seattle with a 2-run third, another run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th as Nuno's making his 5th appearance, 1-0. Lifted into left. Field is right there. And that will retire the side. 1 run, and that's it. Bottom of the 5th coming, 4-0 Seattle. Draft room exclusively for Rays season ticket holders. Blends hospitality and comfort, offering local craft beers and signature food items. Tropicana Field's premier destination area exclusively for Rays season ticket holders. The Republic Bank draft room. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for information. Johnny Field to open the home half of the 5th against the lefty Marco Gonzalez. Takes the pitch away. Field made it interesting last night with that double in the 9th inning when the Rays scored 3, but fell a run short in that 5-4 decision. Two-0. Christian Arroyo will hit second, and then Malik Smith. high popper. It's a foul ball. Will it be playable? The answer is yes, and it's caught by Vogelback. And that's out number 1. Report on Yanni Chirinos, who was pitching in Rochester for Durham tonight. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. Walked 1, struck out 2, made 55 pitches. So that seems to be an encouraging line for Yanni Chirinos, and to eventually get him back here.
That sounds like a lot of the lines that he put up here in the big leagues for the Rays. I mean, very efficient with his pitches.
Christian Arroyo takes a strike.
Yeah, that is encouraging too, because not only do you get the 55 pitches, but the 5 innings. So you get those 5 up and down. You're having to warm up each time.
It's wide, 1-1. Boy, the Rays have really been beset by pitching injuries. You see Faria right there. It's going to be a while before they see him with that side injury.
It's shocking, really.
Yes.
Evaldi coming out of spring, Honeywell, De Leon.
Oh, there's a long one. High and deep to left. That'll send Gamble all the way back. That baby's gone. Home run for Christian Arroyo. Rays get on the board. Arroyo got into that one. He put a charge into that one, Arroyo. And so the Rays are on the board. Arroyo had hit 3 home runs with the Giants over in the National League, and connects here for his first one in a Rays uniform.
Well, one of the few pitches that we have seen Mike Gonzalez out over the heart of the plate, and the Rays jump all over it.
Alex Smith. It's a little liner. It's going to be caught with Segura ranging to his right. Here's another look at Arroyo's home run.
Boy, he's trying to come with that cutter, and it just does not get in far enough. Stays middle in, but Arroyo quick to pull the hands through and barrel it.
Well, the Rays get on the board. Arroyo had picked up a triple and a couple doubles, and now a home run during his stint here with the Rays. Here's Daniel Robertson. Robertson lifts it into shallow right. Haniger coming in and makes the catch to retire the Rays. They get on the board on the home run by Christian Arroyo. Through 5, it's 4-1 Seattle.
Now to take a trip down on the farm, brought to you by Chevy. And you guys were just talking about Yanni Chirinos making that start for the Durham Bulls. Well, Yanni's teammate down there, Justin Williams, is having himself quite a season. Had a 3-run homer last night at Scranton, which was a 5-4 Bulls win. The Bulls, by the way, are in first place currently in the International League. Justin Williams leading the way with 10 doubles and 6 home runs this year. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much, Rich. A little update there on the offensive side of things. Williams, young outfielder out of Louisiana. First pitch here in the 6th inning to Guillermo Heredia is in there for a strike. Heredia moving a run with a fielder's choice his last time. Goes after that pitch up and away and fouls it. 0-2. I'll go back next, and then Gordon. One and two. Well, the way the Rays have signed Tyler Frank, the shortstop they picked out of Florida Atlantic University, he would be their 4th pick in this draft. And they've announced his signing. Fly ball to right. Gomez handles that. Frank at Florida Atlantic, he went to the same high school in Delray Beach as Lucius Fox, the Rays shortstop prospect. So there's one of the draftees in the fold.
Well, now it's all about the climb. You know, get him signed, get him into the organization, acclimated, and let him work.
We'll go back on the ground. Into the shift this time, and that's Robertson out there from short right. So technically a 6-3 out of the shift. 2 up and 2 down against Nuno. Base is empty for the top of the order, D. Gordon. And Tyler Frank in the program at FAU was an outstanding defensive shortstop with some pop in the college ranks. It's a pretty good combination.
Well, you know, you go out, you see a lot of that. The drafting of the shortstops typically is going to be a really good athlete. And more than likely, especially the way that the game is being played now, is going to be versatile. You know, you get a good athlete out there, he may not project as a major league shortstop, maybe second base, maybe you move him to the outfield, who knows. But you know that you're going to get a well-versed athletic player from the shortstop position.
Boy, that's some old line baseball thinking there too. Pop fly into left, and field is right there. So 3 up and 3 down. Bottom of the 6th coming, 4-1 Seattle. Great moment on this date back to 2016. Corey Dickerson hitting a pair of solo home runs against the Diamondbacks out in Arizona. Dickerson's 4th of 7 career multi-homer games as the Rays beat the Diamondbacks 6-3. C.J. Cron will lead off against Marco Gonzalez in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's grounded into a double play. He's been hit by a pitch. Takes a breaking ball in there for a strike. Ground ball to third. Cron is the first out in the 6th inning. It's also the anniversary of the no-hitter thrown by the Seattle Ball Club, a combination no-hitter of 6 pitchers. Kevin Millwood started that one and left the game with an injury, and they used 6 pitchers. And that gentleman right there, Nathan Eovaldi, was the starting pitcher against Seattle. And I think he pitched 6 shutout innings in that game. Matt Duffy up here.
Well, sometimes when you're pitching on those offensively challenged ball clubs, your mindset going into a ball game is, let me go out there and throw a shutout and hope for a no decision. And that's what he was doing right there.
Liner, base hit. Duffy is aboard. Duffy would gladly change this base hit for the one in the 3rd. Yeah, that was a 1-0 game. 6 Seattle pitchers in Seattle over the Dodgers. Millwood worked 6 and left with a groin strain. And Eovaldi started for the Dodgers against Seattle in that game. 1 on with 1 out. Ramos, a swing and a miss, strike 1.
With some throwback names pitched in that game. Charlie Furbush.
Yeah.
Brandon League. Tom Wilhelmsen.
Yep.
Remember that in the press box. Well, in the visitors' TV booth up in Seattle, they've got that poster of all 6 of those guys.
1-1. That piqued my interest. I was checking in their press guide. They list their complete game no-hitters. Just make a veiled reference to that combination no-hitter. No-hitter's a no-hitter.
Yeah, well, right. And think about it. Each pitching change, you know, the tension.
Yes.
The pressure. Yes.
A lot of pressure.
Mounts. You don't want to be that guy. Here, you're pitcher number 5 on the night. Still haven't given up a hit. You better get it done.
One on, 1 out. Ramos behind in the count. Fouls it straight back. It's out of play. Kyle Seager drove in the only run in that game. An RBI hit in the 7th inning. Rays got a run in the 5th inning. They trailed 4-1. It's down and in, 2-2. Gonzalez working his way through the Rays lineup for the 3rd time. '75 pitches right now for the lefty. Foul, headed for the seats. It's a pretty good pitching matchup in the next 2 games of this series. Blake Snell tomorrow against Felix Hernandez. And then Sunday, that'll be Nathan Uvalde against James Paxton. There'll be some velocity. Guns will be lit up here.
Yes.
Ground ball toward the middle. Gordon steps on the bag and one hops a throw to first to complete that quick double play. 4-3, and about as quickly as you can turn one on the pickup, step on the bag, and the one hop throw to first to double up Ramos. Rays finished in the 6th, trailing 4-1. Fox Sports Sun brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By El Dorado Furniture, a different kind of furniture store for over 50 years. And by your local Ford dealers. Fidel Nuno on the hill. Pitcher number 3, Font for 2 1/3, Andres for 2 1/3. The first pitch to Segura is a strike. Nuno got the final out in the 5th, had a 1-2-3 6th inning. Down to first, one hop and it gets away. Bowers with the flip to Nunez, who got over there. And good thing Nunez was doing what he was supposed to do on anything hit to the right side. Get your tail over there, and he did. And Bowers stayed right with it. They got the out.
What a recovery. This ball had a little bit of English on it, kind of spinning up there funny. That ball got in, but you're right, Dwayne, about Nuno. You don't assume anything there. It would have been easy to kind of be lax in getting over, but Nuno heads up, hustling the whole way, and Jake Bowers stays with it. They make the play.
Here's Haniger.
That ball got so far in on Segura that it just came out funky, took a high, goofy bounce.
Yeah, you'd like to. Been fun to have seen that one on a pool table.
That's right.
It might have just created a complete circle before it stopped. 3-0 now to Haniger.
I was terrible on absolutely awful pool player.
Yep.
Let's just say that the last time I played a game of pool at an establishment, I took an L. I didn't think that I should have taken an L coming in, but my own ineptitude led to that L. And let's just say after, it's probably,
A liner up the middle and caught right there for the out.
Now, how to say this? The loss was taken. There was some action after that. Very short, abrupt, and sweet.
A little disagreement.
Not even a disagreement. It was my own fault. I think it was at myself. But then was escorted out of the establishment.
Yeah,
and
I got you.
moved on. And that was the last game of pool I've ever played.
I find that surprising.
Well, I am awful at barroom games. Darts, pool.
Yeah. No, you're never on your home field in those situations. Never on your home field.
No, but what's the other one too? They you throw little bean bags at the slanted tables, the little opening.
Oh yeah,
cornhole.
Yeah, that's it.
Cornhole,
Yeah,
boy, cornhole.
bad.
Yeah, really bad. I like to stick to the big three.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's go play some basketball. We can play some backyard football.
Yep.
It's fine. We can go back out. We can do wiffle ball.
Yeah.
But you give me cornhole. Actually, don't. But
Probably not.
darts.
If they're indoor sports, we don't want
no,
you involved in
I'd
them
be
at all.
awful at the Trop. Awful here.
And that's a ball down and in, 2-2. You know, that's when they choose to put us on. They want to see two guys completely
Awkward and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I've already got
in the midst of self-destruction.
Yes. Very close right there.
And there's a cut and a miss. Good thing this inning is over. We go to the bottom of the seventh. We're going to stretch a little bit here in a 4-1 game. We go to the home half of the seventh inning. The Rays are facing Marco Gonzalez. Gave up the home run in the fifth inning to Christian Arroyo. You see Ryan Healy now taking over at first. And a swing and a miss by Carlos Gomez. Gomez has grounded out, hit a fly ball to right. Healy replacing Vogelback at first. Ground ball, that's back to the mound. Underhanded toss by Gonzalez. Well, Gonzalez, out of that classic lefty pitching mold, done a nice job. He's not going to overpower you, but he's going to pitch his way through a game.
No, he's been impressive, and not by lighting up the radar gun, but by mixing his pitches and just his sequencing, using the cutter to both sides of the plate. The changeup, the fastball, occasional curveball.
And there's a breaking ball in for strike one to Jake Bowers. Jake 0 for 2. He lined to center in the second, went out second to first in the fourth. now takes the fastball, and he's down 0-2.
It just goes to show you, you don't have to have overpowering stuff. Certainly it's nice to have, but even if you don't, if you know what you're doing out there and you can move the ball around the zone and change speed, you can still have a ton of success.
Tapper back to the mound. And again, the underhanded toss. So a couple pitcher first plays here, 2 up, 2 down. Well, that really is the art of pitching. And that's one of the really fun things about this game, when you get a guy who's not going to light up the radar gun but knows what he's doing. He's come back from Tommy John surgery, but grew up, his dad a pitcher, learned a lot, and has put it into practice.
Yes, he has.
Look at that, 11 ground ball outs tonight. Down Johnny Field. And first pitch strike.
He started the season, his first 8 starts, he was 3-2, but the ERA was 5.31, and since then, 32 2/3 innings, he's given up 2 earned runs.
One and one. What a great stretch that is.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Well, you know, he made the change. You know, it used to be wind up and out of the stretch. Decided to simplify things. Just going to go exclusively out of the stretch. Doesn't feel like he loses anything with his stuff. Keep it simple.
Two and one.
You know, that's where if anything does go wrong with the delivery, it's an easier fix because you only have one of them.
Yep. I always thought that that was a great principle in advertising as well as pitching. Keep it simple and repeat it often. That's what you do. Foul ball out of play. 2 and 2.
I mean, that is, you know, you talk to any pitching coach and one of the first things that's going to come out of their mouth is repeatable delivery.
Yep.
If you can repeat your delivery, then that's, I mean, that is the biggest thing. And now all of a sudden you start to change the grips on different pitches and you give yourself a chance.
It's a fly ball into right. Haniger's there for it. That principle also is good at raising children. Keep it simple, repeat it often. 4-1 Mariners. Fish Grill fresh catch of the game, a couple of them in the Rays half of the first, and Seager down at third was outstanding on the double play, and then this play on the ball hit by Duffy.
Yeah, outside of really one misplay in this series, he's had a number of backhanded chances that have not been real easy, and he's made them look that way.
Seager's going to open the 8th. Zunino and then Gamble due up. Seager with a base hit in the 4th and lines this one into right over the shift. Robertson was out there from shortstop, and Seager is aboard to begin the inning. He is 2 for 4.
That pitch just does not get to the outside corner, stays more in the middle of the plate. That gives Seager a chance. Able to capitalize and drop it into safe territory.
Which is a strike to Zunino. Zunino doubled in the 5th after a couple strikeouts. One and 2. Nuno, the third Rays pitcher. Foul down near the end of the dugout and bounds over the stands as opposed to in them. Back out onto the field, and now a scramble for the souvenir. Cut, a foul ball. 2 runs off Font, 2 runs off Andres. Nuno in 2 1/3, allowing 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no runs, and a pop-up now. Foul ball. Bowers after this one, and he's got it. First out in the 8th. Which is low to Gamble. 1-0. Outside of first. 1-1. The Seattle club in first by a game in the American League West at the start of the day. They're after their 40th win. Into center field. Alex Smith right there to catch it for the second out. They split a 2-game set against Houston.
Well, here's what's interesting, Dwayne, and we talked about it last night. The Astros last night, going into the games a night ago, were embarking on a stretch where they were going to play their next 36 games against teams. One team at 500, and that was the Oakland A's. Everybody else below 500. And when you look at the Mariners' schedule with 100 games remaining, 66 of those are against teams above 500.
That's going to be a challenge.
Yep.
Heredia skies to right. Man left at first. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 4-1 Seattle. 1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event just 6 days away, only on Fox and FS1. Christian Arroyo, who homered in the 5th, leads off the 8th for the Rays. Takes the ball.
Well, just like last night, Rays running out of time, but you got to love the work that Vidal Nuno has done to give them this opportunity, down just 3 runs.
Now 1-1. They're facing Marco Gonzalez, who's 7 innings, equals his career high, and he's out here in the 8th inning with Alex Colomé throwing in the bullpen for Seattle. Two and one.
This is one of those games where it feels like Seattle has been in complete control, but the Rays still not that far off.
And a 3-1 count. Well, here's the home run by Christian Arroyo, 425 feet, the projected distance. Skies this one toward the stands up the right field side. See another full count pitch to Arroyo. It's Malik Smith waiting on deck. And strike 3 is called. Fastball. And that's out number 1 in the 8th inning.
And Marco Gonzalez once again here in a full count makes a perfect pitch. 91 right on the inside corner. Arroyo looking for something away.
Well, 3 strikeouts, and the first one was a big one when he got Matt Duffy with the bases loaded back in the 3rd. We got Ramos to lead off the 4th, and now Arroyo leading off the 8th. Ball 1 to Malik Smith. Two and 0. And a strike. Gonzalez pitching deep into this game for Seattle. And now he pours in a strike.
Well, look at the stuff. You've seen no drop off in velocity. You've seen no drop off in location. Continues to be very strong out there.
Well, the Rays pushed him in only the 3rd inning. An error and a hit batter part of that. The Rays had only 1 hit, but he made 27 pitches in that one. Otherwise, he's been in command.
Yep.
And made a great pitch to get out of that 3rd. Foul ball, earns another pitch here on a 3-2 count to Malik Smith. He's had 100 pitches right now, Marco Gonzalez. again, a foul ball. His season's high is the 104 pitches he made against the Rays, and that was in 6 2/3 in his last outing. He's an out into the 8th right here. And a foul ball to the left side, out of play. Alex Smith battling here against the lefty.
Mike Leake, the job that he did last night. Very similar from the right side. Move the ball around the strike zone.
Chop to first base, and a race for the bag, safe. Alex Smith got in there. Gonzalez took a tumble after getting over there and taking the toss from Healy. And we think everybody's all right. Alex Smith diving into first. Gonzalez went tumbling. Smith is safe at first.
Well, you knew this was going to be trouble. The tapper, the bounces, and the speed of Alex Smith. He goes for the dive as opposed to running through the bag, but he gets the hand there. Ooh, boy, is that close.
Yes, that's very close.
It got there, right to that front edge. Gonzalez goes to the side of the bag. That's probably going to finish his night, but great hustle by Alex Smith in an extended at bat. There's your base runner.
Another Rays with a man aboard, 1 out. That's going to be it for Gonzalez. Scott Service, the manager, out to make the change. Call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
For the Seattle Mariners was outstanding, and I'll tell you, you mix that fastball in with the changeup, the cutter, the curveball, using all 4 quadrants of the strike zone, getting some help defensively. A couple of ground ball double plays. He sailed right into the 8th inning.
Alex Colomé, the new pitcher, tossed to first, and Alex Smith is back in. 103 pitches on the night for Gonzalez, 7 1/3. Leaves with a man on. Robertson, the hitter for the Rays. Daniel Robertson, 1 for 3 tonight. Takes a pitch off the zone. Rays got a run on the Arroyo homer in the 5th. They had the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 3rd. That's really been about it. 2-0 to Daniel Robertson. Colomé in the game in the 9th inning last night. Took over with the man on. The Rays wound up scoring 3 times in that inning. 2 of those runs charged to Colomé. That's a strike, and it's 2-1. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the 8th as the Rays now try to come through against the Seattle bullpen. That's a strike call. 2-2. Colomé got that one in there. The fastball up and in. Diaz up in the bullpen. A 2-2 count. Into the dirt out in front now. Smith's trying to advance, and he is safe. The ball loose on the recovery by Zunino and the throw down. Smith advances on that ball in the dirt.
Well, that was close too. This ball gets yanked down quickly, and they attempted of a backhand right there by Zunino, but he does come up firing. I'll tell you what, if D. Gordon is able to hold on to that ball, Alex Smith is out.
It's a wild pitch charged to Colomé. Alex Smith in scoring position, and the count is full on Robertson. Headed for the seats back of first, forcing another 3-2 pitch. C.J. Cron is on deck. Rays find themselves in a similar situation as last night when they scored 3 in the 9th and finish a run short. This one popped into short right for Haniger. He's got it. 2 gone in the 8th. And C.J. Cron approaches the plate. Cron is grounded into a double play, hit by a pitch, and grounded out third to first. Gonzalez worked 7 1/3. And a long one back into deep left, and that baby is out of here. Long home run off the bat of Cron, and with one swing of the bat, the Rays make it a 1-run game. Home run number 14 for Cron, and just like that, it's 4-3.
Well, that's going to bring Scott Service out there to bring in his closer. Cutter didn't do much. C.J. Cron did.
So 2 runs charged to Gonzalez. The other run charged to Colomé, who leaves on the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the Florida Lottery. who hit 2 home runs on the last road trip, connects off Colomé here in the 8th at the Trop tonight to make it 4-3.
Well, he got that cutter almost like a hanging slider, just spinning, staying in the middle of the plate, and it was unloaded on.
Edwin Diaz, and the first pitch is stroked into right field. Matt Duffy is aboard. So Duffy picks up his second hit. The Rays have the potential tying run aboard.
He slaps that ball right by Ryan Healy. Didn't even make a play for it.
It's almost as if Healy started to cover the bag.
It very odd there because that ball was not that far away from him. And he just peeled right off, but hey, base hit.
Diaz 21 of 24 in the save department. Now Wilson Ramos fouls it back. Ramos tonight has popped out, struck out, and grounded out. There goes Duffy. The pitch chopped into right field. That's a base hit. Duffy's going to go to third. Ramos chopped it through the open right side, and the Rays have first and third here in the 8th inning.
Well, here it is, off and running, wide open right side. Great job by Wilson Ramos just to poke that thing through the open hole, and the Rays continue to apply pressure.
3 pitches delivered by Diaz. He's going to get a visit. Picking up a couple of base hits. Carlos Gomez will be the hitter. And we'll get a runner. Rex Snyder will run for Ramos at first. So the Rays a little bit more speed over there at first base. The major conference breaks up on the mound. Stottlemyre Jr. back to the dugout. And here is Carlos Gomez stepping in. Rays rallied last night, came up a run short. Closed the gap to 1 in the 8th tonight. The first pitch, 97 on the fastball for a strike to Gomez. Gomez shortens. That pitch low and outside.
How about the job of Zunino to be able to track that fastball down? Just yanked across the plate as Gomez, maybe to push bunt, almost gets by the Mariner catcher.
One and a little pop to the right side. Gordon at second out to make the catch. And the Rays settled for 2 runs in the 8th on the C.J. Cron home run. They make it a 4-3 ball game as we go to the 9th. Call on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Freedom Boat Company, the freedom to be on the water without the hassle of boat ownership. And by your local Honda dealer. Well, a one-run ball game headed into the ninth inning, 4-3. Well, Nuno's done a nice job out there on the hill. Has a new battery made. Jesus Sucre takes over after Ramos was lifted for the pinch runner. Ryan Healy will lead off here in the ninth inning. And he takes a strike. Healy took over at first in the eighth inning. So he sees his first plate appearance here in the ninth. Pitch close, low right there. The call, 1-1 to count.
Yeah, not by much.
No, not by much at all. Ooh, foul, 1-2. Second game of 4 for the Rays against Seattle. Fly ball center field. Alex Smith waiting. One away. Now back around to the top of the order for D. Gordon. 0 for 4 tonight. 286. Pitch off the plate wide. Two and nothing. It's in there for a strike. Nice outing for Nuno following Font and Andres.
Right now, the unsung hero. He has kept the Mariners at 4 runs.
Giving up 1 hit. That was that leadoff base hit against the shift by Seager. Fly ball into left. Field is there to catch it. 2 up, 2 down in the ninth. Coming up, Rays Live, the post game. You don't want to miss that. Presented by WB Mason. Rich and Doug along. Arroyo and Crone both hitting home runs for the Rays tonight. Kevin Cash with his press conference and the minor league report as well. Gene Segura at the plate. Pitch is down 1-0. Best news from the minor leagues, it would appear, is that 5-inning stint by Yanni Chirinos. He had some good numbers, a good line on that outing. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Nuno way behind 3-0. It's only the second 3-ball count Nuno's had in this relief stint. And he walks Segura.
Well, once he fell behind him, he just were not going to give in, as hot as Segura is. So keep trying to fish around the edges, loses them, but now you got to make some pitches here to Mitch Haniger, who's been swinging the bat well.
He drove in a run in the 5th inning, and right now that's the difference in this game. He drove home Segura with the 4th run of the night. The Rays put the shift on. There goes Segura. They have him picked off. Throw down to second, and he is out of there. Segura broke early. And Nuno went over to Bowers. Down to Robertson to put the tag on him. And that will retire the side on the pickoff caught stealing.
The way that Jake Bowers closed ground towards Nuno made the play.
We go to the bottom of the ninth. Rays down by 1. Bowers will open the bottom of the ninth inning for the Rays. Rays down by a run, and the first pitch is a little bit wide. He checked in time. Edwin Diaz on the hill. Bowers 0 for 3 tonight, looking for that first big league hit. And now strike at the knees. Ground ball, foul outside of first.
I'll tell you what, that play to end the top half of the ninth inning. Watch Jake Bowers here, the way that he closes ground towards Vidal Nuno and also creates an angle for him to make a better throw. That was a great job with Segura leaving early. Jake Bowers closing that ground from Nuno, not waiting back on that throw. Close the ground, create an angle, make a good throw.
Yeah, and that's the other thing he's known for, that great work defensively around first. Got the ball down to Arroyo, who put the tag. Now cut and a miss. Bowers out on strikes. So Diaz picks up out number 1.
Yeah, and Duane got it on a nasty slider. He keeps this pitch, in the middle of the zone. And right at the very end, just enough dip to get underneath that swing. Not a lot, but enough.
And there's Johnny Field. And that's a strike. Fastball in. He tried to check. 97, strike 1.
He was gearing up for that heater, looking to ambush Diaz.
And now the slider sweeps off the plate. Just missed.
And that's exactly why you go with that pitch. Yeah, the recognition there, whether it's Diaz, Zunino, or the both of them.
1-2. Fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you look at the arm angle of Diaz. He's got a deceptive arm angle and just an explosive heater. 97, 98 from that low 3/4 arm slot.
The pitch fouled back into the screen. 98 on the fastball. Joey Wendell has moved into the on deck circle. He'll be next for Arroyo. Field takes it low. 2-2. Johnny Field had the double in the ninth inning last night when the Rays put up 3. Well, a run short 5-4. They're a run short right now 4-3. And a swing and a miss. Well, the slider got field as it did Bowers before him.
Well, you can take the first couple and eventually see too. Johnny Field kind of pulling off that pitch a little bit, and that one Diaz kept in a much better location.
And now Joey Wendell to pinch hit for Arroyo against the right-hander. And a strike on the outside corner, says David Rackley at 98. Wendell thought it might have been a little wide. And this one hits him. Wendell hit by the pitch, and the Rays get a base runner.
Well, everything about that pitch was a little bit off. The way that Zunino gave the sign, the way that he went back in, Diaz looked like he maybe didn't want to throw that pitch down and in, kind of yanked it, and the Rays will get a base runner.
Wendell aboard. Alex Smith to be the hitter. Well, the top of the ninth ended when Segura was caught off first on a pickoff caught stealing. Prieto, the first base coach, was ejected. I think he was calling for a balk. And here's Malik Smith. Over to first, back in is Wendell.
And Ryan Healy telling Edwin Diaz, calm down, do not throw this base runner to second or third.
Malik's 2 for 3 tonight with a run scored. And the pitch is strike one. There goes Wendell. Pitch is a ball. The throw is in time to end this game. The shortstop Segura put the tag on him. And Kevin Cash checking with the video crew. Here's another look at second.
Zunino up and out of there with a strong throw, and certainly looked like they got him.
Wendell caught stealing at second base. And that's going to end this game. So the Rays, again, for the second straight night, finished one run short, 4-8-1, with the Seattle Mariners winning this game for the Rays 3-8-0. Gonzalez will get the win. Font, the losing pitcher, dropping his record to 0-1. Gonzalez is 7-3. Save number 22 for Diaz. Took 2 hours and 50 minutes to play this game before 12,435. Rays live the post game coming up next. We'll be with you tomorrow. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, for Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. See you tomorrow afternoon.